Hello, all you scaredy cats and kittens, and welcome to the Two Scaredy Cats podcast, where we talk about all things unusual, strange, and paranormal. We're your hostess with the mostest. I'm Stacy.
I'm Kara.
So, Kara, how was your weekend? Did you guys do anything fun or exciting this weekend?
Oh yeah, we did some very fun stuff this weekend. It was basically glamping. Because, there was a house.
Okay.
So we went to one of my friends, their grandparents' house. It has 5 bedrooms in it. And it's a huge ranch house, giant ranch house. So there's a bunch of guest bedrooms we could stay in or whatever. And there were some people who were trying to sleep outside, but it was kind of rainy. So I was like, I'm just going to sleep in a bed. But, so they own, a whole huge property. They own, a bunch of acres of property. Mm-hmm. And so we could go out and explore, and they had, a little, what is it called? A little four-wheeler or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would ride it. Me and Savannah, they were trying to find, a fishing hole. Basically, they own their own pond on the property.
Oh, nice.
And so me and Savannah rode in the back of this thing while they drove us around on the country roads. Out into we were four-wheeling through a field, a craft, and we found the place. But then I was talking to, I believe it was the aunt. It was her dad who owned the property, and it was a film. It was all the materials were outsourced by the Amish people, because this is an Amish country.
Right, weird.
So he built the freaking house by himself.
Wow.
For the family, and it's a legit house. It's insane. It was a really cool house. It's a ranch, but then the basement expands the entirety of the house. It's a very long house. So the basement was kind of cool. It was a little spooky. Mario slept in the basement because he's weird. But when we were by the campfire, because I was like, oh, I'm looking for cryptids and stuff, because I like to wander around the woods, because we could perfect woods to do it in. And then they mentioned that the grandpa would go Bigfoot hunting.
No way, that's
literally
awesome.
And he's seen them himself, apparently.
What? No way.
Yes, and because he was a hunter, so hunters probably see that weird stuff in the forest. Yeah. And he swore they were real, and he's seen them himself, and he would hunt them.
Cool.
And he's dead now, but I was like, oh, I want to talk to that guy.
Right, really? You could have interviewed him.
Yeah. But, yeah, they would hunt for Bigfoot back there, so I was Bigfoot hunting.
Cool.
Because we went night fishing one night. So we were out in the woods, at night. We were the only people out there on the property.
Did you smell any skunks? Because they say that's
No, I
Bigfoot.
swear I kept hearing some weird stuff.
Really?
Just weird noises. And it was just kind of creepy because it's literally, pitch black out there. There's not a lot of light pollution out there because it's the middle of the woods.
Right. Huh.
But, yeah. It was still cool. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Because, there has been Bigfoot spottings in Ohio. Specifically, the Grass Man and stuff. Yeah. So who knows? I wish I could have talked to him myself. Because he apparently was in the know.
I know. I bet he knew where some good spots were to find him, too.
I know. I was like, ah. And then Brandon mentioned it, too. Because he was like, oh, yeah, I've heard him talk about hunting them and stuff, and he would see them all the time on the property. So I'm like, they're around here somewhere.
Right, yeah. You should have left them a little gift. Maybe they'd come and talk to you. We could find out the story of Bigfoot.
Right? I'm like, dang it. I was trying to get some more info out of them. I was cryptid hunting while I was there. Yeah. But yeah, they were night these fish, apparently, because they're in a lake by themselves. Not a lot of people fish there. They were shark-sized carp.
Holy wow.
In this pond. So they were trying to find some cool stuff.
Did anybody catch any?
Yeah, Mario and them caught fish and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
They were Mario
any of the
had
larger
one on the line.
ones,
He seems 2 feet long. This
fish.
Wow.
Hell
but it broke it snapped.
I was just going to say, did it break his wheel? Because if they're too heavy and you don't have the right kind of weight,
they weren't
it'll break it.
Huge fish. They were trying to catch bluegill.
Right, little tiny bluegill. Yeah.
But
Cool.
then they were trying to catch the big boys at night, but nothing would bite at night, so eventually they gave up. But me and Savannah were wandering around the water
Oh my
trying
God,
to find
you
frogs.
Probably
We were trying to find
nuts.
frogs and stuff, and I'm like staring.
Ugh.
Savannah's like looking around for frogs, and I'm staring off in the woods trying to call out for the cryptids.
You guys need help.
I forgot to tell you, I found a bunch of bones.
Ew, like what kind of bones? Like
it was a deer. I found like a deer skull, like a legit.
Really?
I brought it home with me. I know.
Oh, Kara! Ew.
No, it
you
was
better
like
bleach
licked
it.
clean. Oh, I am. That's the next.
Well, do they have any? Are there any like types of animals that would have eaten a whole deer?
We think it was a coyote because of how the bones.
Okay, spread out.
We think that those bones have been there for years. Like,
okay.
They were completely licked clean. They were bleached a little from the sun. They were pure white.
Right.
They looked so cool. And I mean, some of them were dirty, but I need to clean them. But I brought back like a bunch of
you're
whole
so
femurs.
Gross.
And then like parts of the jaw and stuff. I was like,
oh
this
my
is so
God.
cool. Mario's like,
yeah, I hope you wore gloves when you're picking it up. Jesus. All the diseases you could. You need to have gloves with you next time in case you find that.
Yeah, Chris helped me find them because he found it. He found like one of the bones, and I was like, oh, we found the whole like skeleton right there. It was so crazy. I've never seen like a full skeleton like that intact. But yeah. That was my adventure. I found bones in the woods. Wow. And I saw a possum, and I started chasing it and ran it. And them yelling. God. They were like, no. They were like, no, leave the possum alone.
Yeah, those things have all kinds of diseases.
They were haters.
You don't want to mess
they do not have disease.
They do, too. You don't want to mess with possums.
They do not. Whatever.
They do.
Anyways, okay, well, what did you do anything fun this weekend?
No, because Dad was camping, and I was on Sam. I had to drive Sam all over to different functions and that, so no, it was just plus it rained. It rained really hard here. Did it rain by you guys at all?
It stormed really bad Saturday night, because, it was storming, and then it stopped, and that's when we went out to go fishing.
Oh, okay.
So it was also super muddy, so it was super gross. Me and Savannah had to, hose our shoes off, because we were covered in mud, and then it was weird. Yeah. I felt a little spooky at night when we were out there by the water.
Oh, I bet. Someone
was watching us or something. I want to go back and just explore, because it was fun. There was a lot of parts we didn't get to see, because it was kind of muddy that one night.
Yeah.
It was fun to ride in the back of the
quad. I know. I want one
gunning
for the
through
yard.
the woods.
Yeah, I think
you don't even
fun.
have that much land.
It doesn't matter. I still want one. Maybe one day I'll have land to have one on. But anyway.
Yeah, get some land so I can go and explore.
Yep, there you go. That's right. Some good forested land, right? So we can check for
so we can
Bigfoot and all kinds of other weird stuff.
I can find some more bones.
Oh my gosh, you and your bones.
Oh, you know what comes out this weekend you should watch?
Yes, I know. I'm so excited. Comes out Friday.
I'm mad. I'm going to be at freaking convention.
Well, you know what though? You can. I'll
watch it when I get home or on the flight.
You can watch it there. Yeah, I was gonna say you could still at least watch it on Netflix.
Downtime.
Yeah, cool.
If I'm stuck in the airport all day, I can watch it on the way home.
You can always do that. All right. Are you ready? Who goes first this week? We forgot to talk about that.
I went last week.
Okay, so I guess
I went first last week, so I think it's you.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so for this week's episode, I will be talking about the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, which is in Canada. Oh. So, yeah, this place is supposedly really haunted. They have rooms that they have blocked off. They've had ghostly apparitions. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Wait till I get to all the things that happen here. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel sits in the beautiful Canadian Rockies. This hotel actually sits on the edge of the Banff National Park. And this hotel is also known as the Castle of the Rockies. And it is known to Canadians because it is one of the most haunted places in their country, apparently. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, wait till I there's a really cool, but I'll get to all that in a minute. Anyway, so first, a little brief history about the hotel before we get into all the cool stuff that goes on there. The hotel was actually built by a gentleman by the name of William Cornelius Van Horn. And he came up with this phrase that since we can't export scenery, we'll have to import the tourist. Now, his spiel was that he was the general manager of the Canadian Pacific Railway. So he came up with this idea of making this hotel there in this area because it's a beautiful area, and that way he could bring the tourists there and he could make money off of them. But he also made money off of them because if they rode his train, and like the train's like one of the few and only ways you can get to this particular hotel, they would take his hotel and he'd make money that way also. So the original hotel that was first built was all wood, and it opened up in 1888. But there was a terrible fire that happened, as we know from what we learned about in Seattle. And because it was made of wood, it burnt down to the ground. So, and that happened in 1926 was when the fire happened. And when the fire happened, they closed down the hotel for 2 years, and they ended up rebuilding it again. And it reopened in 1928. But this time they were smart about it, and they built it out of limestone. So there was at least that. At least they learned their lesson about, not building buildings out of wood. So the resort is 134 years old today, and it's still open. You can still go there, and oh my God, me and you have to go to this place. This place is gorgeous. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's also on the National Historic Sites of Canada, so it's like a really famous hotel. And apparently, I did not know this, that there have been many famous people who have stayed at this hotel over the years, including Queen Elizabeth II, King George the Sixth, Helen Keller, Marilyn Monroe, are a few of the people that have stayed here over the years. All right, so now on to the fun stuff. So here are some of the stories about some of the hauntings that apparently occur at this particular hotel. So the first tale that we have is about a secret room that was built in the old, when they first built it, in the wooden version of it. When they were constructing the first wooden building, there was a room that apparently, for whatever reason, they built it without any windows or doors. And it was completely sealed up. Yeah, it's bizarre.
It reminds me of the Winchester Mystery House.
Right? I know. And nobody knows why, like when they were building it, why they just decided...
Why would they do that?
They don't know. It's bizarre. But anyway, people claim that in the hotel now, you can hear unexplained noises and paranormal activity actually happen in the area near where this room used to exist. Okay? So when the original building burned down, and it burned down, like I said, due to a fire, this mysterious room was actually discovered then. Nobody knew it existed until the place burnt down. And then they're like, oh, there was a room there. Whoops, we didn't know about that. But people would hear like weird, like moaning noises and stuff in that, and they would, sometimes they would see like a ghostly apparition, but there's like no evidence or no like stories for, like, there's no reason why this activity should be happening in that particular spot. Nobody knows why it's happening there. So actually, when the room was, they actually rebuilt this room and they incorporated it into the new hotel. And when they did that, they built it with another room. And they made that into a larger suite. So, the other story, and this one's pretty cool. This one involves a gentleman by the name of Sam McCallie. And he's known there as the Friendly Ghost. Sam loved... Yep, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's Sam the Friendly Ghost. Sam loved working at the hotel. And he was the head bellman from the years 1960 all the way through the 1970s. Well, up until he died, I should say. At one point, he told his friends and co-workers that when he died, he would return to haunt the Banff Springs Hotel. So, true to his word, he has been seen all over the hotel, and particularly on the 9th floor. When Sam died in 1976, he started showing up all over the hotel. But particularly on the 9th floor is where he likes to hang out. Ever since then, incidents involving mysterious phantom lights happen, elevator doors opening and closing at random, guests being helped by an elderly Scottish bellman in an old uniform is what people have talked about. There's one story that I came across about these two ladies that were checking into the hotel. And I guess they went up to the room one night and their key card wouldn't work. So they called the front desk and they talked to the bellman that was down there, and they were like, oh, our key card's not working. Can you come up and fix our door for us? And he's like, yeah, hang on. It'll take me a few minutes to get there, you know? Well, he said it took him like 10 minutes to get there, but by the time he got there, the ladies said that a bellman in like a plain looking uniform came by and opened up the door for him, and their door was unlocked. And the other guy didn't know how it happened because he had been downstairs the whole time. He said, there is no other bellman. I'm the only bellman that's working right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and when they described who it was, they described Sam to a T. The Sam guy that used to work there. Yeah. All right. Now this story, this is like my favorite one of them all. So this one is a tale actually inspired by a postage stamp that Haunted Canada. They had this like whole stamp series based on all the haunted buildings in Canada. And this particular lady made it on their stamp. And they actually have a coin too, which when we go to Canada in a couple weeks here, I want to try and see if I can't get my hands on the coin. Anyway, she's called the Phantom Bride. And the story goes that in the 1920s, a young bride was either going up or down the staircase. They're not exactly sure what the whole story is with that. But there's like two stories floating around, but the one that seems to be the most general consensus is that she was going down the stairs to meet her spouse for the first time, so they could dance, or not for the first time, but to dance as a couple for the first time. And while she was walking down the steps, back then they had candles lighting up the staircase because they didn't have light, a lot of electricity back then. And they think her veil or her dress caught fire while she was walking down the steps. And she freaked out, and the staircase was completely marble. So when she started freaking out, she fell over backwards and ended up, rolling down the steps and ended up dying. But anyway, so they say that the bride tripped down the steps. They say now that over the years, hotel guests and staff have reported seeing a ghostly bride dancing alone in a part of the castle called the Cascade Ballroom. Or sometimes people will even see her ghostly apparition on the marble staircase where she fell to her death. So you can see her while you're there. Oh, and it gets better. All right. So here's this one, like, it happened, but it's kind of weird. Like, the hotel won't admit it happened. So there's a room there called 873. And in this hotel room, apparently due to extremely heavy paranormal activity, and the hotel management ended up shutting it down. The entire room has been walled up. You can't even access it or get to it at all. So the story behind that was, apparently the legend has it that the entire family was murdered in that room. The father of the family apparently went a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he killed his wife and his daughter before he decided to take his own life. Now, the guests that actually got to spend the night in that room, because for a while, the grisly death happened, they cleaned it all up, and they started letting guests stay in there again. And when they started letting guests stay in there, people would not stay the whole night there. Is what would happen is in the middle of the night, they would hear these blood-curdling screams, and they would wake up freaked out.
Oh.
And then there would be bloody handprints that would appear all over the walls and on the mirror in the room. And then they would disappear, except for the handprints on the mirror. And when the maids would come in and they would clean, the mirrors off, they said that it would clean off for them, and they would come back in there a couple hours later, and the bloody handprints would be all over the mirror again. So, after this happened, and they got tired, I guess the hotel staff got tired of everybody, being freaked out and all the stories running around about how, crazy this room is. They decided to, wall it in. Well, so now, if people ask about it, they'll pretend that there never was anything that happened in that particular room. But the weird thing is, if you go down the 8th floor hallway and you look, all of the other floors in that whole hotel go to the number 73, except for that floor. They do not have a hotel number of, the 8th floor or the 73rd room. There's nothing there except for a wall. Now, over the years, some people, and there's actually pictures on it, I have seen this. This is really creepy. So over the years, some people have seen an apparition of a little girl standing right outside of where the door to the room should be. And they've actually caught pictures of it on film, of her standing there like that. This hotel is really cool, though. I'm telling you, we need to go there sometime and go check it out. It's just, it sits up like over like a bluff overlooking like a river and stuff like that. And there's mountains behind it and that. And it looks like, you remember the Stanley Hotel from The Shining where Stephen King wrote his, The Shining and all that? Yeah. It kind of looks like that. It's really neat. It's very old school. It's kind of French inspired. It's kind of looks like a chalet or almost like a princess castle kind of. It's really neat looking. But that's all I have for you guys about the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. So what do you have for us today?
We're going to talk about something a little wacky. We're going to talk about a conspiracy theory today. Which I don't know if we've covered a lot, but we're going to talk about the Denver airport. I had no clue that it was like this buck wild there, but apparently it is. So there's a lot of controversy about how the Denver airport was built, and there's actually there's evidence that the airport is the headquarters of the secret rulers of the world.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, listen, it gets a little wild. And there's also some suggestions that lizard people live underneath.
No, wait a minute. How have I never heard
Denver
that story?
Airport.
That sounds kind of cool and interesting.
That's what I'm saying. And there's like a decent amount of information that I was not expecting to find when someone mentioned this to me. Specifically, Country Boy. Oh. That's their username that they mentioned it to me. But yeah, thank you for the... I've never heard this before. But so the Denver airport was built in 1995.
All right.
Which was like way more recent than I thought.
I was going to say, that is pretty recent, yeah.
So they went over budget by $2 billion, which is why people are like, we think something else was built there. So they're over budget, and it took them longer to build than they initially thought it would take to build. It was built by the New World Airport Commission, which does not exist. Okay. It is not like a thing that has ever been, like, it's not a company. There's no info. No one can find any sort of information, but there's a plaque inside of the airport that you can go see today that says that it was built by the New World Airport Commission.
All right, you need to go take a picture of that plaque when you're there.
That's what I want to find. Yes, I want to find
the
this
plaque. Yeah.
And then, okay, it gets a little weird too. So specifically, the date on the plaque is March 19th, 1994.
Wait a minte, you just said it was built in a different year.
I know, but
right?
so it's more. Well, that's when it opened.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, that's literally the day before I was born.
Oh yeah, that is weird, huh?
Isn't that just? I was reading that. I was like,
"That's
what
weird."
A weird date. Anyways, so the Freemason symbol is on this plaque also.
Ooh, Freemasons.
So the Freemasons are involved.
Oh yeah. There
That's
you
go.
The Illuminati.
It's getting deep.
The Illuminati is coming next. I feel it.
This is some. Yes, that is actually.
What? Are you serious?
And so inside of the plaque, there is a time capsule that is to be opened in 2094.
Wait, 2094. Oh, okay. That's strange.
Years.
Right, that's weird.
It's a really weird year too to open.
Yeah.
So have you heard of the New World Order conspiracy?
Wait, is that about like taking over like the First Reich kind of thing, or not?
It's like there's a secret totalitarian world government that is going to emerge.
Oh, I think I've heard of that before.
Or like the entire
no,
world, not just the U.S. But it's like a pretty popular thing. But it's very strange that this company is called the New World Airport Commission when there's the whole New World Order thing. So they think they're related. But basically, they think that the New World Order is connected. The New World Airport Commission is connected to the New World Order, which the New World Order is connected to the Illuminati. So that is where that connection is. I told you it gets really
interesting,
bizarre, kind of.
Okay. Oh wow, yeah, we're going deep. Yep, we're going in deep now.
So during construction, there were 5 buildings built that were supposed to be used for the airport, but then they were suddenly condemned that they were no longer usable, and so they just buried them underneath the airport.
Weird.
That's very strange, right?
Yeah.
Like they just buried these buildings, and there are tunnels So there's a tunnel system that was also built for this airport, and that people believe that the tunnels connect to Area 51. Ooh, I know. This is getting a little weird. But they also think that the tunnels connect to those secret rooms that don't exist because they were buried.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So the tunnels were supposed to be built for, there's an automatic luggage system. So it would be able to transport the baggage to the baggage claim, essentially.
Right,
but
yeah.
They were never used because it failed. So they just gave up on it, and the tunnels are just kind of there now.
Huh,
and
that's weird.
Yeah, people do tours on them and stuff, which is kind of cool, but it's a little sus. One of the things, so there's only a floor 3. That's the only floor that you can go on is floor 3. People are like, "Wait, what? Is there a floor 2 and 1?"
You can't use floor 1 and 2. What?
That's why there's more. It gets weirder. It just
that is weird.
Makes you think there might be something strange going on. Like I said, Area 51, and then there's some very bizarre art installations inside of the airport. Like some very weird installations you should not see at airport. There's one of a plane crash.
Huh. All right. That is weird. What?
Why would you
That's
have that?
Strange.
And then there's this very crazy one, and it's like a painting of, like, it kind of looks like a Nazi, and he's wearing a gas mask, and he's like, he has a knife, and he's like stabbing at stuff. This is in the airport. This is so bizarre.
Okay, I want these pictures. I want pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hurry up. Wait, how long
time.
do you have on your layover there?
I think it's like at least an hour.
Right, you gotta move quick so you can get photos.
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. So, okay, and then there's another one of, like, these children, and there's, like, it looks kind of nice, and then it's at the side of it, there's just, the world's on fire. There's people wearing gas masks. It's just so weird.
What?
I don't know, man.
What is their obsession with, like, people wearing gas masks in,
That's
like,
what
end of the world scenarios?
So people also think that it has to do with Nazis, because apparently the way that it's set up, it looks kind of like a swastika.
Oh, snap.
Like the airport itself, the way it was
built.
What?
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, there's some
crazy.
Really weird stuff going on at Denver Airport that I never knew.
Wow.
So, this is where it gets weird. So there's gargoyle. I know, it's already weird.
Wait a minute, I was going to say, it's already weird. How much more weird? Wait, gargoyles?
Yes, gargoyle statues. There's 2 of them.
Really? Where at?
Different baggage claim. In the baggage claim, okay? It gets weirder.
Weird.
And the gargoyle statue, it's busting out of a luggage case. Screaming.
What? Oh, that is nuts.
That's...
Okay, now I want to take a flight out west and stop in Denver so I can check all this stuff
I'm like, oh, I'm going to try and find this.
Yeah, you're going there. You got to check this out for us and see what's really going on.
So, and on the gargoyles plaque, there's a plaque about the gargoyle.
Wait, a plaque about the gargoyles too?
Yes, there's a plaque like about them, and it says, the gargoyles are roughly the size of a 5th grader.
That's a pretty big gargoyle. Holy
That's
crap.
that's a weird way to describe it.
Describe it, yes, grader, yeah.
Why not just a child?
Weird.
Why?
Right.
That's such a weird thing.
That is weird.
And they're there, supposedly, to help ensure that no lost luggage. They're supposed to look over you so you don't lose your luggage.
Okay, weird.
And now we're going to talk about my favorite part of this entire...
Wait, that all wasn't favorite?
No, this is like...
Okay.
I've never heard this in my life. So, there's another statue.
Okay.
This is like the most famous statue in the Denver airport.
All right, well then you're going to have to get a picture of this one. Wait, what is it?
The blue stallion. It's like a giant blue horse. It's up on his, like, like the Denver...
Right, the Broncos, right?
Stallion, yes.
Okay.
So, he's nicknamed Blucifer.
Oh,
okay? He's a giant blue stallion with red eyes. Like, he looks like a demon horse, okay?
Yeah, okay.
It's terrifying looking. I looked at photos of him.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be a reference of the... like, horsemen of the apocalypse.
Apocalypse. That's what I was just going to say.
Yes.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
He's supposed to be like that.
Wow.
And the giant blue horse is also equipped, like I said, the red evil eyes.
Right.
And the sculptor, Luis Jimenez, he actually died making the statue.
What?
The statue killed him.
Oh, what? Wait, how'd the statue kill him?
So, he bled to death when a section of the sculpture fell and impaled him in his art studio.
What?
Yes!
Wait, what part of it impaled him, though?
I don't know.
Like, is it that heavy
That's like a
or what?
legit thing that has been confirmed. This is real.
Wow,
That
that's
part
insane.
is true. He died making the statue. That's cursed.
Yeah, that's cursed. And we have it at the airport. We'll talk about cursing people.
Right. At the airport.
You know what? You know what I keep thinking of when you keep talking about this? I keep thinking of Ghostbusters, the second one, and the haunted painting. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Like all
That's what I keep thinking of.
Yes.
With the evil Napoleon type character. Yes.
So, and here's where it gets even more weird.
Wait,
okay?
That's not already weird enough for us? Okay.
There is a dedicated section on the Denver airport website about all of this. About all the conspiracies. Like, all of it. Like, they said, I have it pulled up because I was like, this is insane that they have this on the website.
Why would you be boasting that?
This is where it gets weird. It's like they're trying to post about it to make it sound stupid, so people are like, oh, haha, but that's when people do when they're trying to cover up something. Yeah. That's where it gets weird. United Airlines has a video about the conspiracy theories, debunking them.
Okay.
Like, isn't that crazy? Like airlines and like major places are trying to be like, oh, haha, this is so funny.
Right.
That's a little suspicious to me. Okay, this is what it says on the Denver air. So it says, you may or may not have heard, Denver's got some secrets. That we are actually home to a colony of lizard people. Like, on the web.
Okay.
And
I like how they lead with that instead of the other stuff. Let's lead with the lizard colony because that's the weirdest.
Exactly. That's what they're trying to make us sound stupid. The people who believe this. I don't know. And, like, they have these giant posters all over the Denver airport that have all the stuff about the conspiracy theories. Like, all of them, and then how they're not real under them. You know, wink.
Right, yeah, wink, yeah.
They try and bring him up, being like, oh, this is so jokey. Oh, and then, so, another thing that they did during this whole initiative, they installed a talking gargoyle. Like, that will actually talk to you.
What?
Like,
oh, that's funny.
Like, it'll actually, like, talk to you and stuff. And I was watching videos of it, because I was like, this is insane.
What does it say to you, though?
He'll be like, welcome to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, the Denver airport.
Oh my gosh.
And if you talk about the conspiracies, he'll be like, what conspiracies? Tell me about them. It's so weird. Like, it's like one of those things where there's probably someone, like, it's like an animatronic that's clearly programmed, or like, there's someone voicing it and like watching it, because he responds directly to the people. Like, you know how like a Disney has them?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Or like at Christmas time, one of those reindeer that they'll like people can,
and he'll like talk about. He'll be like, "Oh, do you have a sack? I see you have flowers in your hand." And like you'll have flowers.
Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. It seems so weird that, like, oh, and then we'll have workers dressed up as aliens.
No, are you serious? Oh, that is awesome. You got to take pictures if you see any of that.
They posted a video of like lizard people running around the tunnels.
Oh wow, that is crazy.
But that's like they're trying to cover it up by being like, haha.
Right,
you know,
making it seem campy and weird. Yeah, right,
yes, but
exactly.
They're trying to bring all this attention to it to be like, haha, yeah, this is totally not real, even though it probably is a little suspicious.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right?
That's
I don't know. I'm excited, kind of, to go.
I was gonna say, yeah. Now you need to run around and take pictures before your flight leaves. When you go, are you flying into there on Thursday, or
I'm flying
is that
home.
on your way back?
I'm flying back.
Okay.
So I believe it's like an
hour, I want to see pictures.
Layover, so it's decent amount.
I'm
gonna try and see if I can find any of the crazy art.
Yes,
I'm hoping it's not behind, because I don't want to have to like go through security.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Like past security.
I would imagine it would have to be.
I feel like some of them have to be, at least.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah,
get a picture of the cursed horse, though. You got to get a picture of that.
Well, he's outside. That's why I'm concerned I might not be able to see him.
Well, maybe
he's like right in front of it.
Well, maybe you could have your
Lucifer.
Uber, whoever
that's such
that
a
drives
funny
you there,
name.
stop and get it. Yeah.
They call him Lucifer.
Lucifer. That's funny. Huh.
But yeah. Well, that's what I have for today.
All right.
I literally knew none of this about the airport.
That is crazy. I've never heard any of this ever. So
I was like,
now I'm curious.
So
I'm gonna have to go look this up when we get off of here.
Yeah, you have to look at the horse statue. He's a little crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check this out. He sounds a little creepy.
Or just go on the Denver fucking website, because they have
apparently, yeah. Since they just tell you about it all on there.
There's one that says cool new areas to hang out or Area 52. Like, they have these posters all over the actual airport, which is crazy.
Okay, you gotta get pictures of this. Yes.
If I can find one, I'm going to
take video photos. In that while you're there, so we can use it for our on the Instagram account and that would. And
they call it the hashtag Den Files. The Den
yeah,
Files.
I like that. Yeah.
Well, that's what they call it. That's literally they have a hashtag for it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness.
It's so weird that they've embraced it so much.
Right? I know. Suspicious. Most people just ignore it and let it die.
That's what I'm saying. They would just let it die. Yeah. It's weird that they keep it up, almost like they're trying to keep them off their trails. I don't know. It makes me believe it more with all how they're reacting to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it sounds a little suspicious, a little sus.
A little sus. Oh, I'll let you guys
as you kids like happens. To say, yeah, let me know. I'm dying to know.
But yeah, so anything else you got today?
No, I think that's about everything today. Yeah, just don't forget to check us out on Instagram and see what's going down.
If you enjoyed our podcast today, follow us on Instagram at Two Scaredy Cats Podcast, and please be sure to leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It really helps the show get discovered. And tune in 2 weeks for a new episode. And to all our scaredy cats and kittens out there, remember, curiosity can kill these two scaredy cats.